Hey everyone, I'm Mike Ferris and welcome to another acrylic painting lesson. I'm going to be getting started on this 8x10 pre-stretched canvas here with my image already laid out. And to save a little time, I'm going to take permanent black right out of the tube and apply it directly to my canvas. And I'll be using my number 10 flat brush to get started with. And I'll just cover around this entire image. And then I'm going to go into a smaller brush to get into the detailed areas. So now I have my number 6 angle brush here and I can get into small areas with this little tip here. So I'll just go in and fill in the rest in with this. So I have permanent black, raw umber, phthalo blue, this is primary red, magenta red, cad orange, titanium white, and some cad yellow. So now I'm just gonna continue with this black. And like I said, I can use the tip of this angle brush to get into small areas, and I'll just fill in the rest of the background with this. Okay, now that the background's filled in, I'm taking my number 8 flat brush now, and I'm loading quite a bit of this primary red onto it. And I'll just block in for a base coat with the Santa suit as well as the ornament. Okay, now I'm going to go with a clean number 8 flat brush and some titanium white with just a touch of cad yellow and just a touch of raw umber. Okay, this very light off-white color, and with this, let's block in right here for this part of the Santa suit, and I'm going to come in here with different values and build this up. For now, this is just some base coat for now. Okay, so now I have on my palette some burnt sienna, so I'm going to take some of that and a touch of yellow that just warms it up a bit. And I'm just going to dull it from there with a little raw umber. So this little base coat here I'm going to take and fill in the top of this ornament, and I'm going to put some patterns and some highlights on this, but for now this is just the base coat stages, so I'll just go ahead and fill this in with this value. Alright, back to my number 8 flat brush now. I'm going to take some raw umber, some cad yellow, and a little touch of phthalo blue. This makes a very dark army green, as you can see here. And this will be my base coat for the Grinch's hand. Okay, and down here I almost forgot. Let's take that primary red and my number 2 flat brush. I'm just going to base coat in the broken pieces down here. Alrighty, with my number 2 flat brush, I'm taking primary red, a little touch of permanent black into that, so it's this very dark maroon. Let's go in here with this value and block this in. Okay, with my number 2 flat brush, now going into permanent black again with some of this primary red for that very dark color. And I'm going to start building some of these shadows where the folds are on this Santa suit. So there's one there and there as well. So you can kind of put these wherever you want. I'm just kind of putting them in the general locations of where those folds would be. So I'll put a couple right there and just basically kind of fade this up like this and add some of this dark shadow color in. So if you don't like something, just take the red again and cover over or knock back anything, or vice versa. So really just go for it and don't hold back. So now I'm just going to take some primary red, and what I can do is just go over some of this on the outer edges of this dark value, and I can settle those down and really smooth that out. As you can see right there, it makes it look more natural and more realistic that way. Okay, so I'm picking up some darker value now, and just a little bit of paint on the brush is key. Okay, with a clean number 2 flat brush and a little yellow mixed into some magenta red, which is a more vibrant red. Now I'm going to go and hit some of these brighter highlight areas with this. Okay, no cleaning. I just want to pick up just a little bit of titanium white and magenta red together. And let's go back in. I just want to brighten up with this. Okay, back to my number 6 angle brush. I'm taking that burnt sienna and some of this Cad Yellow and some raw umber to dull that down just a bit, and a little bit more yellow to warm it up again, and again more of that burnt sienna to get that color back in there. Okay, so now just dulling it one more time with just a little bit more raw umber. See, not a whole lot, I tapped some off there. So now with the edge of my angle brush, with just the tip, I'm just gonna hash in this value over this base coat here, and this is gonna start to build up some texture and show the material that's going on the sleeves of this Santa suit like so. Okay, now I have my number 2 natural flat bristle brush. I'm going into mostly Cad Yellow with a touch of Phthalo Blue for this light green. And so with the natural bristles, I can get more of a gradient and blending better than I can, say, with a regular flat brush. So I just kind of want to build this gradient from where the highlights hit in the top of the hands and on the tops of the fingers as well, and really get that nice blend into that darker green value there, and really start to show just how the light's sort of hit in his hand a bit. So I'll just go in here and play this in. Okay, bouncing back to my number 6 angle brush and just titanium white. So after some time to dry, we go from one part of the project over to the next. And now on top of this value, just here and there, but not everywhere, I want to let some of that darker value show through. And again, I want to hash the edge of the angle brush and show this material texture. Okay, now with my number 2 natural flat bristle brush, had to think about it for a minute. See the pause there? So I'm getting some black into that primary red there for that dark maroon value. And I'm just tapping off the paint just a little bit on it, and right where the fleece meets the red Santa suit here, I'm going to create a little bit of a shadow, and this gives it some lift as well, and that 3-dimensional look to it. So going back to my script liner now and going into that value of green with some more titanium white and Cad Yellow. And of course lots of water with a script liner, and I'm going to turn it as I pull it to a sharp point. And I'm going to use the very tip to hash in some of these fine hairs just like so. Okay, with my number 2 flat brush, I'm going back to some permanent black, and I just kind of want to define some areas here and a little bit in between the fingers. Okay, no cleaning. I'm just taking some raw umber and a little bit of Phthalo Blue and some Cad Yellow and some raw umber. And let's warm it up some more with some of that yellow, and now a touch of Phthalo Blue again. This is that dark army green once again. So with this dark value, let's go in and let's see right here, there's going to be a little bit of a shadow that shows some more texture into the hand. And I'll use this as well to go on the underside of the fingers and have that contrast against the highlights. Okay, with a script liner again, and just a teeny touch of that lime green color and mostly titanium white. And again, lots of water as I pull through to a point to load the brush. And with the very tip, I'm going to go vary here and there and just show some direct striking highlights on just some of the hairs. Okay, so now I'm just taking just a touch of the permanent black and mostly titanium white, and again, lots of water there, and pulling through as I turn it to a point. And with this very light gray, let's take and make the hanger right here for the Christmas ornament. Okay, so with a clean script liner now and just pure titanium white, and again, lots of water, and using the tip, let's go in here and I want to hash these very bright and direct little hairs and fuzzies on this. Okay, time to get a little detailed now. I'm going to take this permanent black, and again, lots of water with the tip, and I'm going to start marking out right here with the very top of, what is this, the lid of the ornament. Okay, and I'm going to fill this in a little bit with this permanent black like so, and then also down here I'm going to do another level where it's kind of this pattern. So you can kind of do whatever you want and make this however. And of course, if you don't like something, just cover it up and start again. It's all good. Okay, so making little dots here. And I'm going to start to really get these little details in. So this isn't too difficult. You just want to use a script liner, in my opinion, because you can really use the tip again, and it's very fine detail work that makes it very possible like this with this script liner like so. So I'm going to go some white now. I'm going to go with just a touch of that burnt sienna. You can see mostly titanium white. And now let's hit some of these highlights here and fill this top part in like that. See, I'm going to kiss that with that highlight color, and I'm going to fill it in just a little bit like so. And then with the tip, I'm just going to hit some of these little things. And so you can see it starting to build up and make more sense. It's not so messy now. And just like that, we can get some really nice stuff going. Okay, so now with just some permanent black, and again, the script liner, let's go in here, and this is some shadow that's going on right like so. Okay, back to my flat brush, my number 2 flat brush, and that dark maroon color, that's that primary red and some black. Let's go in and see, I'm just a little bit of paint on the brush, not a whole lot, and I'm just scrubbing this on, and this is dry brushing, so this really builds nice texture and really gives that natural gradient and blend going on. So I'm just kind of fading it into that red there, as you can see, and this really starts to build some texture and some volume. See, and that's really easy, just putting some values where they go. Okay, so with a clean brush, I'm going to take some Cad Orange and mix it with some of this Magenta Red. It's more vibrant than the other primary red. Okay, and some titanium white to bring it up. Let's start to put some of these highlights down. Okay, now I'm going to take some more of that mixture and add more titanium white to it. And so now I'm going to start to brighten this up, and I want to start where I want it the heaviest first, and then as paint runs low on the brush, I'm going to take it and drag it down a little bit like that, and then let's hit a little highlight there. Okay, not filling the whole thing in, keeping that realism alive, and that gives it shine as well when it's not all the same thing. So that way it has contrasts and ways that you can see what's bright and what's not so bright, and it really just pops this thing out with all those varieties. So now I've taken just a little bit more orange into the mix there. I wanted to get this nice bright glow on the outside, and down here as well. Okay, so now I've taken some titanium white without cleaning, and this is going to be my brightest, most direct highlight, and this is going to have hard lines as opposed to more fuzzy lines on the left, and this is going to get brighter as I build this up. Now going back into that dark maroon with a touch of black and primary red, let's just scratch over just a teeny bit of that color there. Okay, with a clean number 2 flat and titanium white, I want to hit this, and again, this is my brightest highlight, and I want to make this a solid line reflection. Okay, with my number 2 flat brush again, and with some magenta and titanium white for a very light magenta red, I'm going to take and strike with the edge of the flat brush something of a shine that kind of zings off on this very bright highlight. Like I said, it's my brightest highlight, and I really want to make this really extra shine to it, so I'm making a little X like that. So see, those little extra things really help to pop and make this even brighter. Okay, I'll put a little bit of that around those other highlights on the left as well. Okay, some more magenta red by itself, and again, this is a very vibrant red as opposed to that primary red. And I'm just going to put that here and there, but not everywhere, and really brighten up this deep, really vibrant red. Okay, with just pure titanium white in the edge of my flat brush, I'm going to take and again establish this very crisp hard line because this is a very direct highlight and the brightest one. So just pure titanium white, I'm going to fill this in like so. Okay, with just magenta red now with some titanium white in there, I'm going to go and reestablish and re-enhance this outer glow shine here. Okay, back to my script liner brush now in permanent black. I'm going to go down here where it's broken, and I'm going to start to use the tip and make some of these crack details. And now with my number 2 flat brush, I want to take more permanent black, and right up here underneath this top of the ornament piece, I want to drag that down, and this deepens the shadow and of course makes it pop against all the rest of the ornament and those highlights against that dark a little bit better. Okay, with my script liner brush now, lots of water with titanium white pulling through to a point, I want to take and hit some of these striking highlights on some of this cracked part here. This really enhances the texture and the dimension here, so there's a little bit of a shine right here where the light's hitting this part of it. So I'll get those little crisscross shines in there, and with titanium white again, where I want it the heaviest and the brightest for the shine, I'm going to go like so and have it fade out. And then one more time, I'm going to give it these little sparkly crisscrosses like so. Okay, that adds a little interest and shine there. Okay, and then right there on those cracks, that really adds, again, more of that texture and dimension. And then right here, let's enhance this little extra shine with that. And also with my script liner in that white, let's take and strike some of the highlights on the broken pieces. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and sign with titanium white with my script liner, and I want to thank everyone so much for all your watch time and support. Don't forget to subscribe for more video lessons I'll be putting out on a regular basis, and drop some comments and questions down below if you do have them. I'd love to hear from you. And until next time, Merry Christmas to everyone, and happy painting.
Oh, Christmas tree, oh, Christmas tree, thy leaves are so unchanged.